Please.
Hey bosses, welcome back to another episode of Boss Please. I'm Jillian, here with Malynda and Meghan.
Oh, your intros are so good, Jill.
Listen, ladies, we're all great, all right? I'm here to lift each other up, okay? God. Speaking of us and being amazing, how were you guys a boss this week?
Okay, so this is the most basic I will ever be.
I don't know if you should say that.
I mean, it's very basic, but it's a proud basic moment. So I don't have a lot of time these days now with my full-time job, but you need to make time for the gram.
Mm-hmm. Your gram fans, yeah.
My gram fans. So during my lunch break, I will meet up with a friend that has a great, what is it, the iPhone X? Mm-hmm. And they have portrait mode. And I take Instagram photos on my lunch break, and that's when I get it done.
Because he takes advantage of this friendship.
No, I love him to death.
I just give you a hard time.
I'm a boss because I make time for my gram.
And just to, put it into perspective for, everybody listening that's not in this room, Malynda and Meghan have, legit Instagram fans. So I think that, these people are expecting this type of content from them. So, you have to get it. They're people.
You gotta plan it. You gotta plan it. You gotta plan the caption. You gotta plan the tags. It's exhausting, you guys, but it gets done, and I fit it in.
It's a part-time job.
It literally is.
And you're fine, because I make John do the same thing for me on weekends. In fact, we're gonna do it tomorrow.
See, you have to have gram photo shoots.
You have to.
A
couple of outfits last you a couple weeks.
It does, and you just spread them out. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's how I was a boss.
This is from last month, actually, so I'm not going to say how I was a boss this week. But you probably have noticed on my Instagram that I was spitting facts about Black History Month, because I think it's very important that we learn history, because Black history isn't just Black history, it is American history. We wouldn't have a lot of things if it weren't for the contributions of Black people. So if you want to go peep my Instagram and see some of the things that I shared, some of the inventions, some of the great, incredible Black people throughout history, please do and educate yourself.
Yes.
And she's still doing it.
I'm still doing it, yeah.
This is awesome. We've talked about this before, I meal prep, or I try to, and I had said in the beginning of the year that I was going to try to, be healthy, but obviously we come up with excuses, and it's oh, I have this weekend. Oh, I have this. I can't do what I need to do. But like I said in the episode with Alicia, I have booked a vacation, and I gotta get cute, I am cute already, but I gotta get real cute. So I have been eating completely clean, and I've already lost weight, which is so amazing because I'm eating so much.
That's great though.
But I'm losing, and it's just because I've cut out all processed things. Mm-hmm. And actually, Malynda, you'd be really proud. I was already a veggie eater, but I am eating so many vegetables.
Awesome.
So not a vegan, but trying to be better.
I ate so many vegetables. I came in and asked Jillian if she had floss, because I had spinach stuck in my teeth.
And I had it. I had the floss.
Did.
Yeah, I had the
you
floss.
came through.
Okay, so we talk about this amongst ourselves a lot. I don't think we've ever actually touched on it during a recording session.
I don't think so.
Is it worth it for you guys to keep your circle small?
So it's funny that you say this, because I just had a moment where it's hard, because when your life makes a major shift, so do the people in your life. And I've noticed that I just need to not stress out and really pay attention to the people that are consistent. And I mean by who I consistently want to stay in touch with, and who consistently stay in touch with me. And the people that are really there for you and me, obviously, just I'm saying this from my point of view, the people that are there for me when I need them most and I'm going through a hard time, and the people that are constantly checking in with me, those are the people that are a part of your circle and that you need to take time for. I was recently stressed out because my job shifted. I sort of stopped talking to the people from my old job, even though that they're really good friends of mine. It's just, it gets hard. It's almost like another job, as hard as it is to say, to keep a social life when you don't have a lot of hours. So it's you do have to really pay attention and really just be present with the people that are present with you. And it's an even relationship. Because when it gets too big, it's just out of hand. And it's just, I'm struggling with that right now.
Malynda?
You're both looking at me.
Almost like
well,
it's your turn.
I think you have touched on this before.
Oh, my circle is hella small.
She's and I'm proud of it.
And I'm proud of it. I mean, yeah, I let a lot of people into my life just, like, generally, you know? Like, I have people from church, people from singing, blah, blah, blah. But, like, people that I'm really close to and will call to come over or tell about my personal stuff. That circle's very small just because you don't want everybody in your business.
Yeah, but here's my problem. Here's where I'm not good at it. What happens when people get salty with you for not showing up to something? And it's like, but you're a part of my big circle, not my small circle. So how much do I let that affect me and feel like I'm a bad person or I'm a bad friend?
How honest are you, though? I think that's what people appreciate about me.
I'm not honest.
Is that
I lie all the time.
I don't. I say I don't feel like going out tonight, but I will go out to lunch with you or coffee, and I always
I'm
will
honest
do that.
with you guys because I know you'll be like, you're like, oh, don't worry, girl.
Right.
But with those people, I will white lie and be like, oh, I'm sorry, I was busy or I had to do it, even though I just like forgot or I just didn't want to.
I'll admit to forgetting. Because they know also know that like I'm doing a million things. So it's easy for that to happen. But the one thing I hate people saying, one thing I refuse to say is who I am. I never say I'll try. I'll never say I'll try to make it. I'll try to be there. It's like, no, if you want to be there, you'll be there. Yeah. You know? And that's how I am. So if I don't really want to go to something, I'll say, you know, I'm probably just going to stay home tonight. I don't feel like it. Like, I've had a hard week, blah, 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 blah. I just won't be like, oh, I'll try. I hate that. I hate when people say I'll try. Because if you want to do something, you will.
Yeah. So, it's kind of interesting. When I moved to LA, my circle immediately shrunk because I knew less people. And it was my opportunity to either let new people in my life, let go of some people that I didn't want anymore. And, like, I keep in touch with people that don't live in this state. Like, I do. I try to call them as much as possible. But, like, as far as inner circle here, pretty small. And, like, I had the whole philosophy, and it's going to sound, maybe it sounds catty, I don't know, but I'm just like, I'm an adult. Like, I don't have time to, like, make a new friend, even though, like, that's not, like, completely true. Like, obviously, I let people in, but, like, it's an investment.
It is.
It really is an investment, and you have to truly decide, like, okay, if I let this person in now, then this is not the last time I'm going to have to let them in.
Right.
And I don't know, like, I'm with you guys. Like, I work so hard that sometimes I literally just want to, this sounds so sad, I just want to, like, sit in silence sometimes.
Yes.
No, I feel you.
And just, like, be with my own thoughts because you know, I used to feel like I had to do everything and I had to be everybody's friend and be involved with everything. And then something just, like, clicked and was like, how much longer can you do this for? You're going nuts, you know? And, like, I'm sure I'm not the only one out there that feels this way. And I had to let go. And when I let go and I stopped caring about FOMO, which is, like, a big deal, like, I feared about missing out on things all the time. And once I let that go and realized, like, I can be content with doing what I want to do, it's fine. So, like, I'm on your page, Malynda. Like, it's like, if I don't want to go, I'm just like, I don't want to, I can't go.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And the other thing I hate also with big circle stuff is I hate shallow conversations.
Yeah.
Because you're asking me how I am and what I've been up to.
But
you don't really care. And I can see that you're either distracted and not really listening, or you're trying to listen to see if I'm worth your time in this moment. And I just don't have time for that.
I think my biggest decision on that was, and why I'm feeling the way I'm feeling, is because a lot of these people knew something personal about me. You both know. And you've both been there for me through it. And they knew about it to a degree, and they didn't really bother checking on me throughout this. And it's like, you know, why am I going to invest time in you when I was going through a really tough time? You couldn't just send a quick text and be like, how are you holding up? Which you two did every single day. And I just hope I'm that much of a friend to you guys. And you guys are worth the investment because it's a mutual friendship. We care about each other.
Yeah.
You're right. You can't fake care about people that aren't going to care about you. It's impossible. It's exhausting.
Yeah, and going back to Jillian, like, you're like, I don't really make new friends at this age. Well, it's just like, you gotta tell them everything, and you don't have time for that.
Yeah, no.
You know what I mean? He wants to start over, like, this is my story, you know.
Well, that's how I feel about dating. I'm like, who's gonna possibly know all of me at this point in my life? And
like, I can't even say anything about this. I'm just like, I don't know, like, I talked about this before, but, like, when Seamus was, like, out of town working on a movie, I went on, like, friendship dates. And in hopes that, like, maybe I can expand my friend circle, because what I'm finding, and, like, we can obviously, like, expand on this further another time, but, like, I'm finding that just male friendship is so weird that, like, they could not see each other for weeks, months, whatever, and literally just be like, hey, do you want to hang out today? And then they go and hang out, and it's like normal.
Totally.
Female friendship is not that way. And I think that even if we say we don't expect something from somebody, we do.
Mm-hmm.
There's an underlying, like, oh, well, we expect the bare minimum behavior of keeping in touch with somebody.
Mm-hmm.
And at that point in my life, I was like feeling all this guilt, like, wow, my boyfriend has all of these friends, and like my circle is really small. I need to expand my circle. And, like, I do keep in touch with some of those women that I, you know, went on a date with.
Yeah.
But, like, it's fine. Like, I am not, they don't know the inner workings of my life. They don't know, you know, what's going on with me. But, like, if I want to grab a drink, I'll call them up.
Totally.
You know, so, like, I think we have friends for sort of, like, different reasons. But those really close people that know everything, and they are just, like, so special. And you got to hold on to those friendships tight.
Really, you really do. And I think it becomes, in a way, it becomes easier to have that smaller circle the older you get.
Yes.
And that was good. I just realized that myself.
Love you, girls.
Love you guys. Okay.
So we have such, like, a awesome woman coming in today, Gwen Lane.
Boss.
She is an influencer, a blogger, a fashionista. She's just amazing and adorable, and I can't wait for you guys to meet her. So we will be back real soon. Welcome back, bosses. Now, just as I promised, we have Gwen Lane in studio, and Gwen connects millennial women in Los Angeles through her travel and lifestyle community, the LA Girl, which is so cute. You need to check it out immediately. She's passionate about helping other influencers grow their following, monetize their influence, and most of all, make an impact through the Spark Society. Welcome, Gwen.
Thank you guys so much for having me.
We're so excited to have you.
So, obviously, the first thing we have to ask you is, how do you get into something like this? Because you are your own boss.
Yes, I am. And I wasn't always. As a lot of us, we start in the corporate world and we're looking for something else. Mm-hmm. And usually you do something on the side. I think the popular term is side hustle now.
Yes.
Everyone has
a side hustle.
And then I guess it depends if you're passionate about it, enough about it, because it is hard to balance that and life and everything else in your relationships. And it was something that I decided to go into full time. And so that's how I kind of transitioned into it. It was a two and a half year thing. So some people who think it was just an overnight thing, that's not going to happen. So if you're willing to put a couple years into it, it is totally possible.
Well, I think because I read you started in, was it 2014?
Yes.
Okay, and that was that the start of the side hustle?
Yes.
And then it became full time 2 years into that.
Yes.
Okay, I see.
When did you realize you could do this full time?
When I started making some money.
Yeah. Like, I gotta make more of this. Yeah.
The money talk. The money talks, right? And it was like, wait a minute. I was making about, a quarter of my income and then half of my income. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, wait a minute. Like, would I even be happy with half of my income if I could do my own thing? And I was like, yeah. And I was still a little scared because, as you know, what they call like the diamond handcuffs in the corporate world, it's like you're scared of losing the stability, the benefits, the 401k, and all those things. And you're like, wait, but maybe I could just stay a little longer. And then there was the misery that starts coming in that's like, while you're at your desk, you're like, I should be somewhere else at some event, at some beauty event, getting free stuff right now.
Yes,
and so you start feeling that resentment. So I feel like a lot of bosses feel that sometimes when they're at their job and they're like, I should be my own boss now.
Yeah. So did you always love writing?
I did always love writing as a child. I was very creative. I also always loved entrepreneurship. Mm-hmm. So that actually ran in my family, and I was an entrepreneur at a very young age, selling candy really young at the school bus, trying to compete with a student store. And I was doing things like selling Pokemon cards on eBay when I was under 18. I had to do it under my mom's account.
Hustling.
I was hustling.
I love that.
So it was just, I did so many things that it was just all of that kind of contributed to this, and then it was like, whoa, all of those things actually helped me in my journey.
How did you conceptualize the LA Girl? Like what, when you look at it, how did you come up with what it is now?
So I was thinking about what to write about, and I was like, okay, what do I know a lot about? What do I love? I mean, I love travel, and I know a lot of girls in LA love to travel, so I love to put that in there. I love yoga, and I love hiking, and a lot of LA girls love that too. So I was like, what about something about for LA girls? And then luckily the domain, the LA Girl, was available, and I know.
So, let me just buy this real quick.
You're like, I need to get on this like now. Yeah.
Bye.
Yeah.
So yeah, it just started out as a side kind of writing outlet hobby for me, and then I didn't have this big vision on day one. It was just something that kind of transitioned as I got more and more readers and people started hearing about me, and actually started on Twitter, which I really loved, and I kind of wish it was going better for them right now, but
yeah.
Twitter was my first social media platform. Once I reached maybe like 10,000 followers really quickly, I was like, oh my God, this might be a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's
amazing.
That's really, really cool.
In the bio, you had talked
Yeah.
about how...
I was like, take it away, Joe, because
Yeah.
I'm still thinking of a question.
In the bio, you talked about how you are really into connecting influencers and growing together. So we're all about supporting women. Maybe do you have like a success story that you sort of helped connect people and they're thriving along with you?
Sure. So when the LA Girl started, it was just a blog. It was just me talking about the things to do in LA. And I realized that one of the things that are missing in LA is the opportunity to meet other LA girls.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
It's a very competitive city. It's a very all about the industry, all about ourselves. But in reality, every person wants community. And I realized that when I talk to my readers, they wish that there was people to do this stuff with. And so from that LA Girl, the LA Girl Society was born. And this was kind of like a meetup group that I was like, okay, who are these people following me? Let's just all meet up and do a hike together. And I didn't think, 10 people would show up, but 100 people showed up.
Oh my God.
And,
Incredible.
and I was
That's
like,
crazy.
oh my gosh, what do I do with these people? I have like 10 free
overwhelmed.
things. I have 10 free drinks for people. And so they all showed up and they were like, this is so great. Can we do more events? Like, we love your blog, but it's really a place to get people together. And so that was kind of the first community. And I realized that what makes my blog different from all the other things to do in LA and where to go in LA is the fact that we actually get together in real life and get out of the digital world and do that. And so as far as influencers, that's actually my second business. And so I have the LA Girl, and Spark Society
Yes.
is my second business, because I realized that as I built the LA Girl, people were asking me, how did you do that? How did you build your social following? How did you become your own boss? How did you start your own business? And so I started teaching workshops first at YouTube, and I was teaching content creators how to monetize their income. And that also became a community thing, because then the influencers are like, I want to talk to other influencers and collab with them and do videos and do Instagram shoots together, because we need someone to take those wall photos for us.
Yes, we were just talking about that. Yes,
talking about
yes.
that. Yeah.
So for me, I feel like business thrives better when there's a community behind it, and I feel like it's much easier for you to sell something or to promote your products when you already have an engaged audience. And I feel like that's been my strength with my businesses, is building community first, and then products and services and whatever you're selling second.
How does the money come in? Because I even work for a business that uses the monetization, and I'm still trying to figure it out. So do advertisers come to you? When did you start seeing a difference of like, this can be my full hustle?
Right. So for the LA Girl, it is an advertising based business. And so basically brands and sponsors, businesses see that you have an engaged audience. And so instead of them trying to do that for themselves, they would rather use an influencer or someone who already has an engaged following. And so for me, the influencer's job is to keep my audience engaged and together and, interested in the stuff that I do. And then it's like watching TV. You see commercials, and then I give you my value, I give you my show, and then in between I have stuff that from my sponsors. And that's
Totally.
pretty much like, it's my own TV channel, it's my own TV show. And I feel like I love how technology is today, giving the opportunity for creators like me to do this, and for everybody has their own audience, their own tribe, their own community. And it's my job is to provide value for my audience, and if I want to recommend to them a brand that I love that I'm using, then those are the brands that do pay me money to get in front of my audience.
It is a little bit of both. Do you reach out to brands that you love to see if they want to partner, and then also brands come to you?
Yes. So in the beginning, it was mostly them coming out to me, mainly because I was at my job and I didn't have time to pitch and go out. And mostly right now, they are coming to me. I believe that I am attracting the audience, and I feel like brands, I've been on the brand side. My background is in corporate marketing, and so I have been the brand rep that's looking for influencers to promote our next TV show, or I did movie marketing as well. And so they're looking. And so what I tell my students all the time is that if you know and grow your audience, you provide them value, you have a beautiful and unique brand, and you're putting out consistent content, they'll find you. Because that was me. There's a lot of influencer marketer coordinators out there looking for influencers to work with.
What do you say to the influencer that, because this is kind of me, that I've been struggling with for a long time, they have a hard time finding their brand or finding their voice. They know they have one, but how do you get your students to like come out with their unique brand?
Right. So branding is super special to me. I love branding. It's one of my favorite things about marketing. And I feel like the reason why is because everybody can have a unique brand. And as you know, the people who just is like everyone else don't really stand out. And so it's kind of a self-awareness thing. And it's something that you'll find and refined as you go through the process. And I tell them, don't stick on this. Don't like sit there and not put stuff out there just because your brand is not perfect, because it'll never be perfect. I tell them I treat it as like a living, breathing thing that I kind of just, it's like a, what was Beyonce has that alter ego, right? It's
Sasha Fierce.
Sasha Fierce. And who is she? You don't know yet. And so break it out there, see what you have to say, and then as you grow and develop, you'll know what it is. And I feel I'm very into spirituality and intention, and I'll feel like you know when you're there.
Yeah.
That's great.
Wow, I love that. I really love that too.
See, it's really important because people that aren't listening to this, like, this is free advice.
This is free advice.
Yes.
Everybody knows, like, free advice is the best advice.
Yeah.
As long as it's good, and, like, it's good.
It's great.
fantastic.
Boss,
Please
so
approved.
much.
Yes.
What do you feel has been the biggest struggle for you with building your brand, with building the LA Girl and doing Spark Society?
I always try to think about it as, my coach, he says, it's not a problem, it's a project. And each thing is just another challenge that you kind of have to go through. And as someone who has gone through challenges in my life, gone through challenges through business and work, and it's just another thing that you have to go through. And so some things are definitely the haters. You try not to take it personally, but with someone who's very passionate about my work, I'm like, what did I do to you? I once got an email that was a reply to one of my newsletters. And my newsletters are pretty regular, where they go, here are the 3 things you can do this weekend, and here's a giveaway, and here's our upcoming event. Someone wrote something like, oh, your emails are dreadful to read. And I'm
You're like, okay.
I guess you don't want, you don't want the free makeup, okay.
Or you don't want to come to the event or do any of this
Oh
stuff.
my gosh, people sometimes they cannot.
I guess you don't want to hang out, okay.
Oh my god,
people will find a reason for any. Yeah,
I know.
And I was like, someone took the time out of their day to hit reply and write this down.
I don't understand
and
it.
I do a lot of mindset work, right? Because I think without it, I would go nuts and go crazy. But I tell myself, it's not about me. They're probably going through something in their own life that they're reflecting back onto me. And then I just sadly delete it, so I never have to look at it.
I know we're kind of veering in a different direction, but I'm just for a second, I'm very interested in, like you were saying, your spiritual journey and your mindset. What is this, meditation, or like what? Teach me your ways, because I've been feeling a little unbalanced lately. I feel in a good place, but a little unbalanced, and I need to do something.
Like, what's
to
your
center.
routine?
Yeah,
to
what
get
should I
centered?
do?
So yoga has been a very big part of my life for over 15 years now, I think. I started practicing in college, and so when I started practicing that, I got into meditation because it was like a natural flow into that.
Yes.
People say yoga is a moving meditation, and I totally agree. And for someone who's very type A and have thoughts running over my head, it's like the only time my brain shuts off, and I love that part of it. And so my routine is every day I prime my mind and myself into, I guess, my peak state is what Tony Robbins calls it. And it's kind of like I do yoga in the morning, I do meditation, I do some journaling, which has like gratitude and stuff like that. What I'm excited for and what I'm committed to. I remind myself of my goals because I think that going through your goals daily is a very powerful thing. And then, I walk my dog in the morning, and then I kind of get into that state, and the rest of my day goes by really, really well, and I feel like I'm the most productive when I do start my morning that way.
Yeah, that is amazing. That's really cool. Yeah, I need to do something. Well, I started like this full-time job, and like I'm trying to balance of when I work out. Like, do I do it at night? Do I do it in the morning? Whatever. I don't know. Well, maybe I'll take some time in the car, like on my long rides to Santa Monica.
Well, I've heard that the morning. I'm sure you've heard people say morning routines, miracle morning. It's like a big thing, and it's because it's the start of your day.
Yes.
And by the end of the day, you're so tired.
Totally.
I totally get you, because I'm like, after the day, I'm like, you poured your heart and soul into the job. It's like, what do you have left for your business and for yourself?
Yeah.
Actually, what does your day look like? because so like, to give a little bit of background on us, right? So Malynda is her own boss, and she's amazing, and she owns multiple companies.
And I'm in the Spark Society.
Look at that.
No, I need to be in the Spark Society.
Right? So Meghan and I have full-time jobs. I work East Coast hours really early. Meghan has a dreadful commute, so she's trying to settle herself there. What does your day look like?
It's so different every single day, but on a normal day, I'm at home all day. I work from home because I have my companies. I'm like there engaging with my audience. I'm in my Facebook groups a lot. That's where they are, and I engage with them. And then it's either sometimes I have an event to go to for the LA Girl. Sometimes I have a comp lunch, which is great.
Yes.
And I bring a friend along. The events are great. I only do a couple a week just because it does take a lot of time, especially the commute. So it really has to be something that I think would be awesome for my audience to see on Instagram stories, or have a really good swag bag for me to go to downtown on a weekday afternoon.
Totally.
But yeah, usually I'm at home working on my businesses.
That's fantastic.
So now the next holiday that's on the docket is St. Patrick's Day.
Yes.
So can you give us a little bit of a preview? Because you did a Valentine's Day guide.
Yes.
Are you going to put out something for St. Patrick's Day?
I don't really do much for St. Patrick's Day. Sometimes it's more like a drinking holiday. And as you guys have seen on my blog, I'm not a big drinker.
Yeah.
So a lot of the bars
we really aren't.
We don't. Maybe a glass of wine here and there, and that's about it.
So a lot of the bars and happy hours I actually outsource to my writers. So I have a couple writers that are helping me now, and I send them to all of the things that I don't do. I'm also pescatarian, so if it's like a meat thing, like, here you go, girls. Like, go eat all the beef jerky you want.
Totally.
So it's great that I get to choose now which projects I could do, so that, not all my audience is exactly like me and they want to hear other sides of it. So
yeah, I guess like one last question before we wrap it up, because I don't want to, but we, like Joe was saying, we talked earlier about keeping your circle small, and obviously you have a big community, but where do you decide to, like, who do you focus in on in terms of like your close circle, so you don't get stressed out?
And with like what you need personally in your life.
So my inner circle, I guess is what I call it. So that's my husband. He is also my business partner and my chief technology officer. So he does all the tech in my business, which I'm sure you know is a blessing. And my dog is my companion throughout the day. I have family and close friends that I trust with everything. As you know, it could be really tough as a business owner with all the ups and downs and challenges. And then I am part of a couple masterminds, and I think that has really stepped it up for me this past year. Last year, I was looking for more guidance. I wanted a business coach or a mentor or something, and of course, I told the universe, and the universe delivered this past year. And so I joined a coaching program, And that has kept me accountable, which is really great, and support pretty much on a daily level. We're all in there. We have our own Facebook group, and we do retreats, I think 3 times a year. And so it's like really helpful to have masterminds and close friends to kind of talk business about. I have business friends and I have regular friends that don't talk business, my corporate friends who are still there, but I'm glad that I can kind of inspire them to start thinking about, you know, is this what they want to do, or do they want to do their own thing? So yeah,
That's great.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for sharing. I feel like you've dropped a whole ton of knowledge on everyone. If they want to follow along with you, where can they find you?
Sure. So if they want to go on the LA Girls, the LAgirl.com, and if they want to learn more about the Spark Society, it's thesparksociety.org.
Amazing.
Perfect.
Gwen, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you guys so much.
See you guys next week.
Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Boss Please Pod. And don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe on iTunes. Navigate the path to your best self with us, because bossing together is always better.